my home. I've done just a slight couple of audiobooks, and that's about it.
And when you say you're a voice, you play one character in that?
Yeah. It's, for those of you who don't know Night Vale, it's a podcast based on, it's a fictional podcast that centers around a community radio station in the American Southwest Desert, where every conspiracy theory you've ever heard is not only true, but it's also just an everyday part of life. So, I play this character named Cecil, who I share a name with, and
convenient,
easy to remember.
Yeah.
And it's reports on the PTA meeting minutes, and last night's bowling league, and there just happened to be a tiny civilization under Lane 5 that wants to kill everyone. So it's that kind of thing.
So are you the newscaster then?
Yeah. It's like a community radio show.
Yeah. And so is the voice that you use for Cecil?
It's pretty basic. Yeah. Although we've been doing it for 3 years, and the writers are really cool about stretching. Like we're trying to stretch and find different ways to present this this radio show, and I've gotten a chance to do a lot of really cool different characters within the character. Like we did an episode. Yeah. Like we did an episode where my character finds cassette tapes from when he was 13 years old. So I got to do like teenage Cecil, and then it's there's depending on what's going on, where he's reporting on something very serious, or depending on what the situation is, it kind of calls for a different use of language, and that's kind of the different variations.
Yeah.
Cool. But that's it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and I am also a voice actor on Welcome to Night Vale, and I actually kind of feel like you. I feel like it's so funny because I'm like mostly a theater and film actor, and I'm very used to working physically with my body on stage. So to suddenly isolate that with your voice is like this totally new world for me. And I joined Welcome to Night Vale because we all work for the same theater company, the New York Neo-Futurists. Oh, hey.
Represent.
Is Welcome to Night Vale based in New York? I mean, you guys do it in New York?
A lot of us live in New York,
yeah.
But it's literally there are people from all over.
Yeah, like we've had guest voices from all over the place.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's like this. I think any new artistic practice makes you a better artist, right? Like especially limits. And you think about kind of limits in any way. I think a tight budget on a film really allows for certain creativity that you never would have expected before. And I think the same is true when you're limited to one mode of communication, to imbue a character with something. And I really feel like I'm just like along for the ride to learn this new limit, basically. And
it fosters creativity.
Yeah, totally fosters creativity. Like how can you make people feel things? How can you exist as someone if you only have like one outlet? It's pretty cool.
And do you play more than one character? Or?
I play one character on the podcast, although we just went on a tour with Welcome to Night Vale, our latest live show, The Investigators. Carlos, my character, reveals that he really, really, really wants to be an actor. And now, Carlos is a scientist and not at all an actor. But he really loves doing voices, and every accent he does is wrong. And I'm trying to think, but like Carlos
British.
Totally,
give us your British accent.
Yeah, wait. I'm trying to even remember the lines. Carlos, he like really throws himself into whatever he does because he like fully believes in everything that is happening in the present moment.
Is Carlos's main voice like your voice?
Yeah, Carlos's main voice is the voice I'm using now to speak to you, which is in the character of Dylan and the character of Carlos.
Like, what is your rich British heiress? What does Carlos's rich British heiress sound like?
It was, I'm just trying to remember one line, like, I don't think that I am doing anything. And then at the very end of that, Carlos takes a long puff of a cigarette. and silently adjusts his pearls, which we also share. So.
Very good. Cool. So are there, like, growing up, did you notice voice acting, like in cartoons or in games or audiobooks yourselves? I mean, was that a source of inspiration to you at all, or?
I mean, well, for me, it's just watching all the Disney cartoons growing up, and because I'm obsessed with Disney. So
were there any ones in particular?
I guess the classics always really appealed to me. So the Mickey Donald stuff. Like I watched those endlessly, I guess, and then also, of course. And then as Disney, once the movie animated musicals are. Yeah. Like that's like ultimate dream Disney animated movie.
For you to sing in them.
Oh yeah, that would be like I'd be like. So yeah.
Would your head explode? You think your head would actually explode?
I hope not.
I mean, I don't know. I can't even talk about it.
Yeah.
But yes, I was very influenced by Disney in every single way of
Was any of you influenced by like Looney Tunes? Because that was for me growing up, like Mel Blanc,
Yeah, I was always fascinated by like especially like you would see like one person did like 30 different character voices that were, or even like The Simpsons, like Hank Azaria or something like that.
It's true. It's kind of crazy.
Like
you look
like
at
it
resumes,
boggles your mind.
Like you look at a resume of like someone like Bill Farmer or like any of the people, like you're like, oh, you were like Winnie the Pooh and Tigger.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, what?
And then you think about all the scenes in that cartoon. You're like, wait, so did you do them all at once? Did you do them separately and then put them together? It's pretty. This is what goes on in a 10-year-old brain. Where you're like, what?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I had
Jim Cummings actually.
I had the pleasure of meeting Hank Azaria because my friend was in Spamalot with him on Broadway, and we were sitting, we were all at this table, and Chief Wiggum came out of his mouth, and I almost died. Like he got out of nowhere, he just started doing, Chief Wiggum, Yes. Sorry, very excited. Any other source of inspiration down the line there?
I remember when I watched the making of Aladdin when I was pretty young. I thought the voice actor of Aladdin, who was a guest actor on Full House, was so hot. So I started following voice actors.
See, that's the thing. Like sometimes these voices, you would find them, and then they look so weird or different from what you think.
No, but I will tell you, Aladdin does not look weird.
Do you remember who was it?
God, what was his name? Scott from Full House? Is that the character name? Steve, but Scott is the actor.
It's fantastic.
Scott Weiner. Grinder?
Scott
I'm mishearing.
Yeah.
Weinger.
So none of you has done a game? Is that I say this because I'm a big game.
Oh my God, I would listen for all of you filming this right now. For the Blizzard company that makes World of Warcraft, call me. Listen, my ex-boyfriend is a huge World of Warcraft guy, and I sat through 3 years of watching him play World of Warcraft endlessly, and I was like, oh my God, this looks like the best gig ever.
Now, I have to ask a question because I've played Diablo. I haven't played World of Warcraft because I don't have the PC. But it's Blizzard, and some of the voice acting is good, and some of it is the worst I've ever heard.
Deckard Cain.
I'm sorry, what?
I said Deckard Cain, sorry.
Deckard Cain. I don't know what that is.
Diablo.
I don't remember the names of characters. But the uncle in Diablo 3, the uncle like literally is like, oh, come over here and come on. Like, shh, what? Anyway.
Games. So I've never done a like big time game, but I've done many app games.
Yeah.
So sure, yeah. So you can play games that I've voiced on your phone.
Such as? See.
I mean, they're mostly for like 4-year-olds, but
Would you say that's your niche then?
it is very yes. I just found that that's where I get cast. Because I can...
You get the juvenile thing.
I do. I can talk up here, and kids really like my voice when it's in this range, and there's something about it that, I don't know.
I felt it myself sitting here.
Yeah, but if you ever heard of a company called Sego Mini, I've done... Okay, yeah, you see? So, I've done a lot of their games, and for those games, I'm basically making noises, and a lot of it... Such as like, oh, or like, oh. And
is that in the script as?
Yeah, they'll say like, I'll get a written thing that says like, happy noise, or eating, or chewing, or
chewing.
You'll get a chewing thing, and you'll see the little animation of the little dog or whatever, and he's like, and then and so I'm like, okay, and it'll give you like chews, swallows, enjoyed it. So it's like, yeah. Yeah, exactly. So the script will say like black, and it'll be like, so then it's like, blech. And I will, and that's that. All their games are like that. Yeah, so it's really cool. Okay. But then I've done other like adventure puzzle type games, where you're just like, I don't know. It's really hard to be actually good in those, and some of the lines are so terrible. It's like, we must stop the queen before she destroys us. And
well, it's accurate.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
Do any of you aspire? You aspire to World of Warcraft. Do you have any aspirations for gaming? Any other voice actors? On the
No,
panel?
I want to come out of the closet now. I'm not a gamer at all, and I hope you will accept me.
It's
This is
fine.
an inclusive atmosphere, Geekycon. We accept gamers and non-gamers.
Thanks.
Yes.
I would do a game. I will do anything. Pay me dollars. I will do it.
I've met a couple of friends who are voice actors. I've made a couple of friends who are voice actors in games. A lot of what they have to do is similar, different from the chewing and enjoying it. Is it sort of like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way that it's not awkward.
for hours they have to like.
You've been punched hard.
Yeah.
You've been punched really hard.
Yeah.
Your head explodes.
Yeah.
You've been punched so hard.
All of that.
Or like gasps.
Yeah, all of that.
It's so weird.
And you just
Sometimes,
can't not feel weird doing it.
like and when I do those, when I do those sorts of things, especially in my closet, and my it's just weird. My dog will be like scratching at the door, and
That's
I
not
know
good for recording.
No, but she's really good. Like when I'm recording, she's like, I know I have to leave him alone. But when I make those weird sounds, and in one of the games I had to make like dog sounds, like, and oh yeah, she was losing it. Hey, this is G-rated.
I understand. I understand. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Oh, that's a sound.
Yeah.
Interrupting our panel. Thank you, Mr. Glick. Sure.
So I have to say, back on like early influences, I think maybe not cartoons, but the Vincent Price voiceover
Yes.
to Thriller,
Yeah.
was probably like that seminal moment for me. Where I was like, what is this? Like, because I was too young to really know who Vincent Price was, and that was kind of my first introduction to like, this is a character. Like I could see it. Like I could see this person in my little kid head. Before watching the video obsessively on MTV, back when MTV showed videos.
Yeah. That must be like talking about prehistoric times to you guys.
Excuse you, I grew up on that.
But, you've seen the Rickard archives of MTV. But that was it. It was like, here was this character that like just his voice alone was so evocative of the character and the mood, and it set the tone. And I had none of the sort of background knowledge of the long and great career of Vincent Price. But that to me was like that was it. That was the top. That it could get to.
Now,
I think that influenced me.
Do any of you listen to audiobooks as like consumers of literature?
Yeah. I wasn't sure
sure if you're asking us.
Yeah, anyway, any of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
enjoy them quite a lot.
Do you do like is it part of a ritual for you?
No, I do it while I'm driving around.
While driving, yeah.
Because I spend a lot of time in the car.
It's a good thing for those of us. I live in New York, and it's really hard especially when you're really into a book, to pick it up on the subway, because especially as you're making transfers and standing and just being in transit, it's really hard. But I love listening to audiobooks because you can listen to it truly door to door. I remember the first audiobook I ever heard. I was driving with my parents, and they just decided to start getting into audiobooks, and they listened to Stephen King's Pet Sematary. Have you guys heard that audiobook? No. Anyone? Okay, do it.
Do you remember who was reading it?
So many people. It was like a full theatrical version, but it wasn't like this live radio. It was just like I don't know. It really I was enveloped by it.
That's cool, because that's different too. 'Cause
Yeah.
mostly it's just one and then doing all the crazy voices.
Yeah.
And there were sound effects, and it was
that's a big budget audiobook.
beautiful. Yeah.
Well, Stephen King, sold a few copies of his books to people through the years. How it goes. What is our timing? Because we want to make sure we have time for the 12:24. Yeah, we have to. We're doing Q&A part 2. I've been told that half of it is us talking to one another, and half of it is questions from audience members. Questions from audience members happen like this. This man demonstrated, he put his hand in the air. That's how it happens. You put your hands in the air and you get called on. Yes, sir.
Question, Ed.
Okay, Mary Kate.
Yes.
As a newbie,
Yes.
if you were to do an audiobook,
Yes.
how would you approach doing the different voices of the different characters? It's just completely mystifying to me. How do you do that?
I would be terrified. And I would probably work on it quite a bit.